Okay, good morning, Paul. So just excuse our mess because we still are obviously working, so excuse that. But that is the 1800 log cabin. We took the front part of it and just made it into a facade. And that doesn't need to be part of the light show, but this is kind of where they start the trek. There's going to be a lighted path that takes them back there. You can see the stagecoach and then our 40-foot light tunnel. And then as they come out of the light tunnel, they'll end up in what we call Christmas Tree Forest. You'll see the start of our massive teddy bears, and this is kind of the walk path that they lead to. So on this side, you see the 5 mega trees, and then the 10 mini trees. And so they're just walking through. And this won't be marked with a path or anything. It's just the trees on either side defining their paths. Okay, so there are those. And again, you can kind of see on this side, this is kind of a mid view, mini trees, the big mega trees. Okay, this side was the teddy bear, then the 4 mega trees. Those are the ones that are solid color, each one a different color. And then the second teddy bear drummer. And as they leave this area, this kind of swoops around and they can go over here to the reindeer stables, and this will be defined with the path, and that's kind of what our petting zoo is. If they went through this gate right there that I'm pointing at, that would take them to the Gingerbread Cafe. I'm sorry, it's no longer the Gingerbread Cafe, it's the Mrs. Claus Hideaway. But this takes them through Candy Cane Lane. So Candy Cane Lane starts out with Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, and they have little things in between them as well. Again, this part is not part of the light show. This is the Christmas tree ornament that we're about to fix. The sleigh that'll be filled with gifts and pulled by some reindeer. This is our manger setup. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but those are our angels. We haven't finished yet. That's the start of our manger. So our trash cans. Okay, and then this starts Candy Cane Lane. Okay. So Candy Cane Lane, we designed it to look like an old vintage street where people are walking down the street basically, and there's different little displays everywhere. So you can see these are massive poles, and they have the vintage street wire frames on them, and they're also wrapped with single layers. So there are 16 of these massive poles, but Eddie wants basically just 8 of them dancing with the music. Okay, so this is Candy Cane Lane. That is a display that'll be a tractor pulling Christmas trees, and it'll have Christmas trees around it on either side lit up. Again, that's not part of the show, just this Candy Cane Lane. And then I'm gonna kind of show you this way. So you can see here that now we have this massive emptiness in the middle of the field. And that emptiness was supposed to be filled with a bunch of stuff that we were going to get from Wow Lights, and obviously that's not going to happen now. So what you're looking at now is what I drew out for you. So it'll be the C9 lights, it'll be the leaping arches going down, it'll be the 4 starburst, and the 8 columns. The 8 columns are actually going to be intertwined with those trees out there in the distance, and then everything else will kind of be leading towards this direction. But this just gives you an idea of if people are walking down the lane, they could stop here, and this gives them a good panoramic view. We're actually going to set up some pews here that people could actually sit in and watch the show if they wanted to do that. But that kind of gives you an idea. And then this is Candy Cane Lane. Again, the poles, 8 of the poles lit up. That's another one of our vignettes we're actually making right now. and then we'll have a vintage truck on this side. So if you walk all the way through Candy Cane Lane, you can see there's icicles at the top. Those actually have their own little algorithm or whatever you want to call it that does its own thing. But they basically will walk through that gate will be completely open. It'll be a lit path, and you can see the start of a couple of tunnels that way. That white building on this side will have the ice skating, and that's what we call Elf Village. It'll have different things. That silo is where the concessions will be sold out of. And then you can't really see from here, but that chapel off in the distance behind this tree is the North Pole. And that is where they will be able to play with Santa's elves. So again, they'll kind of walk through this path. Now all of this is not going to be needing to, none of this needs to be on the light show. I just wanted to show you kind of the overall vision of the event to kind of help you out to kind of understand how we're doing this. Next year we'll add on that chapel. We'll have a light show in front of the chapel, and then possibly a light show in front of Mrs. Claus Hideaway. So this is kind of just an overview of the entire thing.